going into this best of 7.
Yeah, I think so. I think both players are pretty interested in playing this matchup pretty normally, although might see more Cyclone play.
Although that is kind of normal. So here we are in the bottom right. It's Ryung.
And in the top left, it's NightMare from the Maturino team. I think it's just called Maturino Esports, isn't it?
Maybe. I don't know
That's
what the clan tag means.
Yeah, that's what Wikipedia says. Maturino Esports is the name of the clan.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Estrella's in there.
Yeah.
Future's in there.
It's awesome that Maturino is supporting a team.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Maturino's great. What a great organization for esports.
I think they're mainly just like, their biggest game is Starcraft. By far, though. Like, there is so many Starcraft tournaments. It is nuts.
True, true. Good to see him supporting other esports, but yeah, StarCraft is best. And Probe playing the harassment game. Another SCV comes off the line and says, "Hey, get out of my buddy's face. He's trying to work over here. What is wrong with you? Were you raised in a barn? Don't mess with people while they're trying to work." Probe says, "But you are my enemy." Runs away nevertheless. NightMare, Cybercore, Nexus. Very standard, very safe opening against Terran. Going one gate expand can backfire on you pretty spectacularly, but Cybercore in there first makes it safe. Adapt Stalkers. Whatever you need to stay alive against the Reaper. Shield battery in your main, maybe. If you're nice, anyway.
Yeah, most Protoss don't want to go for that super quickly, just because it is quite a big expense early on. If you are a Protoss on the ladder that struggles with an early Terran Reaper, though, build that battery. It makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah, doesn't hurt. That's for sure.
Okay. Blink is on the way here for our NightMare.
Yeah, because he's a normal Protoss. He's not waiting until 8 minutes to get Blink.
Yeah, he is doing it off of 3 gates, so not just like a very quick second base. Probably going to put on a bit more pressure.
Yeah, Widowmine drops in the future of Ryung. I can read the crystal ball that says Widowmine drops. Which I don't think we've seen today. That entire best of 5 had no Widowmine drops,
I think
right?
he attempted at least one, but it got shot down right away.
You're right. He did try and got horribly shut down.
And it is going to be a big emphasis on the mines with an armory already on the way.
Oh, hiding the armory is so good. So sneaky. And NightMare's got a proxy up there?
Yes, he does. A gate, so a 4-gate blink against fast Widow Mines. There's no robo for the Protoss, so this is actually pretty darn problematic. Now it's going to get real messy depending if this Medivac flies into the Stalkers, and it doesn't. But Ryung's got the bunker. If the bunker can hold, and if he can get a Widow Mine or 2 in his mineral line, then it gets really, really scrappy. There's that bunker under fire. SCVs are pulled to it. That is so important that this bunker just buys as much time as possible. There's the mines going. 1 goes, 2 goes. The robo starts immediately upon seeing that cloak. But trying to deal with the Widow Mines in your main base while also poking with Stalkers is a ginormous task.
Stalkers kind of backing themselves into a corner a little bit, but when you have Blink, are you really ever stuck into a corner? There we go. Getting out of that situation. SCV is trying to fight. Not great for them.
Good Blink bait out on those Widowmine shots. His next one's recharging.
Pretty much all you can do there. One probe dies, but that's pretty much no big deal.
Yeah.
9 SCVs go down. It is 43 to 35. But on cooldown. Oh, that one wasn't on cooldown.
Medivac able to duke out those Stalkers. Widowmine now going to burrow, force another pull. Those other mines are recharging while this is going on.
Observer out. Stalker should start hunting these things.
We see 10
yeah,
probes
there we go.
Down.
10 probes down, 38 to 41. Workers pretty even here, but again, mules are the great benefit for Terran. Even if they're even worker count, mules help that income be higher than the Protoss can ever be. Yeah, so pretty crazy game back and forth. A lot of workers died in the early game, kind of stabilized here. The hidden armory and the hidden warp gate doing some work.
A Banshee at the back of NightMare's base. There's no cloak for it. I mean, there's already detection for the Protoss, so that's not too important. Stim was significantly delayed by this shenanigans in the opening build, so Ryung doesn't have this super quick. I don't know who came out more ahead on this. I'm guessing the Terran.
Yeah, again, just because mules, I guess, but otherwise pretty even. Oh, this Banshee is getting just some deliciously juicy hits there.
Yeah, that's
4
icing
more
on the
probes
cake.
die. Yeah.
Stalkers in the main?
Yeah, little tiny 4-stalker blink in. They're getting some nice juicy SCVs. 2 Marines respond. That's not enough. A Marauder responds. That's not enough either. 2 Marauders respond with medevac support and SCVs buffering. That's probably enough. Stalkers get out.
Oh, a lot of other Stalkers got caught. I think pretty much just all of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, it's 51 to 18 army supply in favor of Ryung all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think at least like 4 or 5 Stalkers must have died there being caught out by Ryung, and Ryung knows that he is moving across the map.
Yeah, NightMare might just be dead. This is not looking good. He's warping in some Zealots. We know how Zealots are at buying time, but yeah, they pretty much all evaporate immediately. That's your GG. That's game 1.
Yep. GG.
GG! Looking good, Ryung, man. He is... Yeah, his standard TvP play is really strong. Looking good today.
Hello, Afrojack, who's talking in the chat.
How's it going, Afrojack? What's up, Efagor? Throwing in the Africa emoji. Saying hello. Man. So, yeah, this is just Ryung. Like, he's not doing anything crazy today. I mean, that one game he made, like, 15 Liberators was kind of nuts.
I mean, the Widowmine build was a really good call.
It was, but normal, right? I mean, Protoss players, if they're not used to Widowmine drops in 2023, I don't know what you're doing. But hiding the armory made it extra hard to deal with, certainly. Radaset. Radaset? Raid Husit. I'm trying to come up with alternate pronunciations that make no sense to me. Because that's what it usually is, I guess. Radaset. Radaset. All right, Radaset Station, one of those weird maps where you get a free third. Protoss and Terran love it, and this is a Protoss and a Terran going at it.
Okay, who loves it more then?
Yeah.
In the top right, we've got Ryung.
And in the bottom left is blue. It's NightMare.
It's like we got ours a low ground wall from NightMare, which makes sense on a map like this. I believe that ramp is the only way the Reaper can get in.
Ooh, let's explore.
I'm 90
Not down there.
sure. If it can, maybe there, but there's
No, that's double height.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
no
think that
indicator
works.
there.
No. This is a terrible map for Reapers. What the heck?
Yeah.
There's not a single hop-up spot?
Nope.
Huh. Alright, good. Fair enough.
I mean, there's 2 spots into the main from the natural, but if you block the natural like NightMare's doing, you'll be in pretty good shape.
And to be fair, it's a bit of a wider natural. It's not easy to wall off quickly. But should be able to get it done by the time the Reaper shows up if you concentrate on it? I don't know.
Okay, there's the Nexus, then the Cybercore.
Yeah, looking good. There's your expansion. How fast would either player want to go for a third? I mean, it's a ramp up into your natural, so that's fairly easy to defend. I don't know if there's that big of a risk for going for a third here fast.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if that's just the only play on this map, like going for a fast third, or if there is some sort of aggressive play you could elect for. Because, like, I was thinking, like, Blink Stalkers aren't going to get too much done on a map like this.
Right.
Then, what? Charge with Prism or DTs for the Protoss?
Yeah, Warp Prism stuff's obviously a good answer there.
But then it's like, it's still a big commitment to try and get damage done, so maybe just macro up and see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest turtle macro map I've seen in a long time in StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
Really seems to encourage turtling up on 3 bases at least. And then getting a 4th and seeing where we go from there. Like, games average 20 minutes on this map.
Yeah, we see Ryung trying to get a scout. He still did go for the Reaper to keep the Protoss honest, but
didn't get much
doesn't
done.
get in.
Right.
There's the Robo. Adept does Shade Pass, gets the Mule, and that was a fresh one. It will almost cost him the Adept. It just barely survives. Great escape by NightMare.
Wow. 2 HP on that thing.
I was about to say the Adept for the Mule, and that's not a bad trade, but the Adept and then getting out, that is huge.
Yeah, that's massive. Really slowing down the economy of the Terran and keeping his own dude alive. Here we go. NightMare going for that 3rd base.
This is a cool build from Ryung, just going for the 3 racks play. Getting Stim and a tank.
All right, clear those minerals out. Lickety split. Gonna throw down that 3rd Nexus at about 4 minutes. I mean, if any race is equipped to bust through those rocks, I'd say it was Terran. I mean, that's not even rocks, technically. It is debris.
Yeah, the 4 SCVs is still such a huge hurdle, though.
It is.
Like, it's 3 layers of rocks, and then 4 SCVs minimum to make a tiny hole when you, by that time, we'll just have medivacs and can drop in there.
Yeah, true fact. Terran doesn't care about your walls.
Like, the only time I ever see this being removed is in an incredibly late game scenario or something. And like Zerg maybe wants to take these outer bases, so they want to have easier access to defend them. That's all I can think about, but I don't know. Observer across the map for NightMare. Looks like Ryung does have a lock on it with that Cyclone.
Bam. Take that. Charge getting fired up. We're going to get Storm in a minute here, too. Combat shield on the way. And yeah, this map just encourages kind of hanging out. Although no third base from Ryung yet. Still a little interesting. Something NightMare is keeping an eye on. Cyclone just making sure there's not a warp prism setting up in that third base locale. Keeping an eye out over there. There's an OBS, yeah, parked right over the natural base of Ryung. Has a pretty good vision of what's going on. Storm's getting started on the research, blinking in and saying, you don't have anything protecting these SCVs. So 3 of them go down, 4 really quick, 5, and then a blink out. Easy like that. Ryung getting concussive shell. Medevacs on the way here. Vulnerable. Oh, yeah. Can't quite get the tank. Good pull back there from Ryung. 50 to 35 army supply. Yeah, NightMare getting that third base, probing as hard as he did. We'll see. He's still got a ramp that Ryung has to deal with when he's coming over here. Oh, gosh, that Warp Prism dying would be huge. Ooh! Close.
Third base on the way. And yeah, I think NightMare made the right choice just by macroing up here. Probably gonna get up a 4th soon.
Ghost Academy under construction here by Ryung. So yeah, it was a poke out, but he didn't even come close to committing to anything with that attack. He's getting a third base now, but NightMare's been on 3 bases for a while. His economy is much better. Yeah, I don't know about that from Ryung. Looked like he went for a bit of a 2-base style attack there. Realized maybe this isn't a good idea, and then came home and tried to catch up. Robotic support bay on the way from NightMare. Once again, probably a combination of Colossus and Disruptor.
Is NightMare just going to try and end this, however, by going for a big attack?
He's down like 10 army supply. There's Widow Mines and Siege Tanks all over that ramp. Going up the ramp is suicide, but maybe you shuttle him in with
He's got a prism full of High Templar.
I don't think he wants to either. 4th base on the way from NightMare, left side.
No one can attack on this map, and we gotta remember, NightMare did pick this map.
Yeah.
So he's okay doing this. Oh, and now he's looking for some big Psy Storms at the natural base. Gonna get a decent amount of SCVs, 13 in total, even though Ryung pulled away, he grouped them all up.
That was a pretty good pull, but man, that was a great storm.
Yeah, it was a quick pull, but the storm and then the subsequent one were well placed. I guess you just gotta split or preempt it, I don't know. Okay, Ryung moving out on the map. He's kind of catching these Zealots and Stalkers. 2 of the storms have already been used by those High Templar, but it looks like a pretty good engagement for the Protoss here. Ryung, though, drags one of them out, gets some good Widow Mine connections. There's 2 good Psy Storms, however, and they may just be 2 good Psy Storms as Ryung's army has taken a lot of heat.
The storms keep coming. Colossus taking hits from the Viking Stalkers, saving him out, though. New Colossus shows up. Another storm. GG. NightMare. Whoa.
Just like that.
Just like that. NightMare ties it up 1-1 in our best of 7 finals. I don't know. It feels a little premature. I guess NightMare did have the 4th base that Ryung didn't. Economically, he was ahead. Army value was pretty even at the end of the game. I don't know. It's always weird when there's an attack on the other side of the map and the player that is out across the map GG's.
Yeah, but it's like he just didn't set up for that game. Like, he probably should have gone for a quick 3rd command center. Either that or open with something like way more mobile and aggressive, like, I don't know, a 2-1-1 or proxy marauder or something.
Yeah. Something that wasn't, I'm going 2 base and then, oh, I can't get in there with 2 base attack. Oh no. What do I do? Ooh. Strange stuff. All right, hard lead. Next map. Let's go. Hard lead sounds like a title of a chapter in a mystery book.
Yeah, it really does.
Got a hard lead on the case. Go check it out.
All right, we got 2 players ready to go, so away we go to game number 3 between these two. The winner of this will get to say, I won a Freak World 107, and you did not. This is actually Ryung's only second Afrika World. He hasn't won one yet. NightMare, it's his second Afrika World too.
Nice. Well, good to have them show up, make it to the finals. Top left of hard lead. He's looking good. Lost that last game. It's Ryung.
And in the bottom right, he is NightMare.
All right, so not a crazy map that encourages turtling up in macro. This is fairly regular as maps are concerned. Got Reaper hop-up spots, got third bases that aren't easy to take.
Gateway's on the way, Assimilator's on the way. Probe Scout for NightMare, looking for proxies, so he's a little bit on edge, rightfully so.
Yeah, NightMare just blocking off that Reaper hop-up spot. Ryung considerately does not make a Reaper, instead opening with a Marine. Probe trying to block the expansion attempt, but another SCV comes down. Nice drill there, drill boy. And the probe has to retreat from the constructing command center.
Second racks on the way for Ryung, so going for 2 racks. Curious if he'll throw the factory next. I wouldn't mind seeing like a 2-on-1. He does go into the 3 racks, however.
Man, who did we cast like 6 months ago who loved the 3 racks?
Probably Cure.
Yeah, sounds like Cure.
Maybe Byun.
Yeah, I think it was Cure, though. Pretty good. Pretty strong against a Protoss who's not perfectly prepared against it. And even then, just a lot of aggression right in your face. You don't get to know how many barracks I have. Adept, be gone.
Yeah, and the third base on this map is definitely not as free as the last map.
Nothing's as free as the one on the last map. That was crazy free. Stargate, just about wrapping up here from NightMare. Oracle? Gotta be an Oracle opening. Or he could do nothing with it. That's fine, too. Phoenix. Yeah, Stim Combat Shield, Marines. I mean, what else do we expect from a 3 racks opening? This is it. NightMare Twilight Council coming in. Blink's not especially good against this.
No, Phoenix aren't either.
No. Did Phoenix scout the third Rax?
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think it's fair for him to assume he didn't see the factory.
Yeah. But he didn't get deep enough.
And he just saw all those Marines too, so.
Is he going Phoenix Resonating Glaze?
He is, but I mean, Ryung is moving out. He just caught one of the Phoenix. So now it's 2 Phoenix Resonating Glaives. There's that combat shield. There's that stim. Maybe just looking for a third base, but he's going to have 2 Marauders with this, which is very significant when adding muscle to the push. He's going to have combat shield with this. NightMare can maybe warp in some more units, but I get the feeling there's enough juice here for the Terran to target down that battery real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Adepts are trying to zone it out, trying to keep it here, but yeah, Adept Phoenix on the play here.
He just looks for a third and then backs out. Ryung is such a mature StarCraft 2 player.
Yeah, he's not going to go into something that's going to end poorly for him. Resonating Glaze kicking in. More and more Adepts being produced. Yeah, here we go. This is the Phoenix Adept we were talking about.
Oh, he's going to get an intercept off on this. Still, it's a skirmish out in the middle of the map. More bio coming on down here for Ryung. Is this the fight that he wants to take? I don't know, to be honest. But I think it is before the Adepts become overwhelming.
Yeah, Marauders hanging out, more Adepts warping in.
Okay, is there Medivacs out yet? There's 2 just starting. Solid walls with the Terran to hide behind.
Smart. Adept does get sniped there, but the hard wall is done. As done as it's gonna needs to be anyway. And third base coming up from NightMare behind this. He's not crazy 2-base all-inning it because he recognizes the Marauder count's pretty heavy. The hard wall is really hard to get through, but he's trying?
Yeah, he does get through that bunker, but with the Medivac support and the wall on the high ground, he's fine.
Yeah, the Medivac's putting in some serious work there. NightMare says, Dark Shrine, let's go. Time for a little DT action. The problem is you open Phoenix, which necessitates missile turrets, which are detectors too. So I don't know if DTs are going to do anything here.
Ryung really taking this seriously, throwing up eBays as part of his wall. I mean, he sees how much Protoss there is. Widow Mines are now getting set up in this. There's +1 on the bio. That's a big deal. The Adepts will not complete the shade. A bunker gets started for the 3rd time in that wall, and it will be canceled again.
Depths keep shading in, hoping maybe the supply depots will be lifted one of these times. We catch some Widow Mines to the face, though, if they try that. This is just really making Ryung worry about every but getting a third base while NightMare gets a third base behind this.
Yeah, the
it's exactly what
will
it
be
is.
On the way soon, too.
Army value 51 to 36. Ryung has an advantage there, but economically, NightMare's pulling ahead. Making 3 probes at a time. Third base getting saturated. Dark Shrine almost done.
Ryung doesn't know if NightMare's gone for a third.
Yeah. This does feel pretty aggressive for there to be a third base, but there's a third base.
There's 4 DTs warping on in. And there is a turret in each mineral line, so they will not get that much done.
I don't know what they're planning on doing, honestly.
Oh, one reveals itself. Did Ryung see that? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, extra turrets being tossed up. He knows. He's like, DTs? Prepare. More turrets. Third base under construction from Ryung. Just about complete. Getting a Ghost Academy 2. Technically on 2 bases. These Adepts do not want to finish that shade. They'd rather do anything else in the world than finish that shade.
Oh my gosh, this is like... I'm gonna gush a little bit over Ryung right now, but he is playing so mature. The amount of Terrans who try to move out or take a fight before this time is so many. The depths are being caught by the bio. The +1 really shining now, and Protoss has lost a lot of supply at this point.
Suddenly it's 80 to 50 supply.
There is Archons, there will be batteries. Charge isn't done yet, however, so there's really nothing to punish this bio from kiting. And that's quite concerning. Okay, one Archon does get saved by the battery overcharge, keeping that boy alive. Gonna heal it up in no time.
Widow Mine's getting caught. Or rather, Adept's getting caught by those Widow Mines. Archon's catching EMPs and getting popped almost on that second one. Shield batteries doing what they can, but they're getting drained of energy pretty quickly. This is a lot of sentry.
It is so many sentries. NightMare's got a lot of minerals in the bank too. He needs to spend as much as he can. Sentries are getting picked off.
Yeah, the sentries got EMP'd. He made like 4 sentries, they got EMP'd immediately, and they're not really providing much value. As a result, that Immortal is very much almost dead.
Oh, just so close to dying. Keeping that alive is a big deal. Does he have battery overcharge again to save it? Not quite. In comes Ryung looking for that kill. NightMare's still got a decent amount of resources in the bank, but he does not have the warp gates. He's building 4 warp gates. I think it's going to be too late, however.
GG. Yeah, this is a GG. Probes coming in, getting melted by the bio. The Widow Mines will make some connections on those guys, too. 77 to 11 army supply is just not sustainable.
No, it is not. Ryung showing how patience can pay dividends.
All right. Ryung. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. He goes for that 3 racks aggressive opener, doesn't like what he sees, goes home. The Resonating Glaive Adepts show up with Phoenix support, and he just holds. Like you said, patiently gets up the Widow Mines, patiently gets upgrades, patiently gets out the Medivacs, and then when he's ready, goes for the push, and NightMare's just not ready for it. Amazing.
Yeah. That was just well done by Ryung. I saw what NightMare was trying to do, but he invested so much, and he got not a lot.
No. Big time investment there. Got that 3rd base up. I thought it'd be in a better position with 3rd base being as early as it was, but Ryung just pushed a good time when he had a nice army advantage. There really wasn't any splash damage at all to speak of there. Shield batteries, Archons doing their best. A good micro handled those fairly effectively. And that was a GG.
We had... I'm drawing a blank. Sorry. I totally forgot what I was going to say. What was it? Anyway, it's gone. Pardon me.
That's okay. Happens to the best of us.
On the bright side, we'll be getting an extra hour's sleep tonight. If you guys do daylight savings.
We do. Gonna need that.
Yeah, me too. Alright, in the top right, he's got the 2-1 lead now. It's Ryung.
And in the bottom left, back against the wall a bit. It's nice. We're here on Alcyone.
Alcyone.
Good old Alcyone.
Okay.
Yeah. Very, very standard openings. Ooh, double gas. Hold on.
That is not standard.
No. That second gas is sneaky stuff.
Oh, look at this probe. He's going to mine out that wall and get on out of there. Like a secret agent, he is going behind that Terran base, and he is going to be building 99.9999 repeating percent a Stargate.
Absolutely. You can mine through that wall with 1 hit?
Yeah, apparently so.
That is the terrible wall. Like, really? Why does it even exist?
Now, Ryung is a smart Terran. He is a smart boy. He is scouting out.
He's being like, nothing, huh? That's suspicious.
He's like, wait a second, there's no gold base on this map. Or there actually is, so he might check that.
Yeah, it might be expanding there. Really kind of a dumb place, though, because you can get harassed from the other side of it really easily.
It is not great.
Reaper, check it. Oh, he kind of did.
He had a peek. He's got a bunker up on the high ground, but really he's going to need another one nearer to his command center. He's scouting all over the place. Yeah, he probably hasn't put 2 and 2 together. The funny thing is, if you just clicked... Oh my gosh, NightMare's building a Nexus, too.
What? What?
Is this so he can do the battery overcharge or something? Or just, I don't know, just to have an extra base, because why not? Could be a reaction to the scouting of Ryung that he alters the build like this. And there's the fleet beacon on the way. Ryung is still looking for this. Is he going to do a hop over the minerals? No, he's not. He could get that Reaper over there if he just rallied it. Okay, it can jump over the cliff, and now it's on this side, but he's still not checking. What are you doing, Ryung? Like,
why are you rechecking stuff you've already checked?
Now he's
going. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. No!
Ryung,
dude,
you've been doing exactly what you need to. You've just been doing it wrong.
Come on. Oh my gosh, this guy, he is coming so close to this.
Hey guy, you know this big black spot?
The only spot I haven't scouted over on this side of the map?
Okay, he's going back. No, he's not. What are you doing, guy?
He's scouting, just poorly.
Like, he's making a Viking, he's making a Cyclone, he knows that it's a one-base Protoss. What kind of build can they possibly be doing? Let me guess, he's gonna go check the bases in, like, the top... Okay, he sees a probe going by. And he's like, where's that probe going? Okay. Anyway, he sees a Tempest going north of the base, so it's whatever. He knows it's there now. Okay, Cyclones get a lock-on onto that Tempest. The Tempest is taking a lot of heat. It will just barely escape. 2 of them can push away that Viking, but that's a good start getting hull damage on one of those.
Yeah, the Tempests aren't, like, super close to shield batteries. This isn't as powerful as this has been in the past.
No, he is building another pylon so he can get some more forward batteries, and this is the first time I've seen this on the new patch, so I don't know how Terran fares without, say, Magfield Accelerator as an upgrade they can get.
Right.
Because those Cyclones, like, that used to be the hard cutoff for a rush like this when Terrans got out Magfield Cyclones. Now that's not an option, so I don't know exactly what you do.
Vikings, I guess. Enough Vikings to one volley down Tempests is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
If you one-shot them, the shield batteries can't do anything about that. So... But it does take a lot of Vikings to pull that off.
Oh my gosh, that lock-on is such a slow reaction from NightMare.
Oh, 2 Tempests die. They're chasing this. They do not care about your shield batteries, sir.
No, not when you give away 2 Tempests just like that. There's the battery overcharge, though, and now he does have to retreat. Does lose that other Viking, so 2 Vikings for 2 Tempests. There's a good ground force. NightMare's electing to throw up another Nexus because he's a madman.
This is expanding over on Ryung's side of the map. Like a crazy person.
Yeah, this is where the Tempest starts to cause issues. Picking, poking. Only 2 Vikings at a time. Ryung is trying to reach Stim Pack. That way his Marines can just potentially stim forward and shred through this. So uncomfortable for the Terran to deal with this. Losing supply. Your production gets all messed up. Ryung isn't making his max Marine potential. Now he is, that's good. He's going to need as many Marines as he can for when this stim finishes. Potentially for a boys pull to try and shut this down, but NightMare's been banking Stalkers on his batteries so he can just hold this position unlocked, so... I think starting +1 in Combat Shield is 100% the right decision for our Terran friend. And in come the Stalkers. There's that one tank there. That's a big deal. Gets a good shot off.
You're in a ghost die off in the distance. Marines getting splatted by Tempest shots. Ah, Starcraft at its finest here.
Yeah, this is... Try explaining this to someone who's never played StarCraft 2. Someone could potentially be tuning in for their very first look at StarCraft 2 and be like, alright. Okay, enough Vikings to deal with this Tempest. And once again, we're seeing Ryung's insane patience. Like, it's so impressive. He's now coming in, he figures he's got enough units to push in, and I believe he's right, as this is strong bio pushing against Stalkers, even with a battery. Like, this is a lot of Terran on the ground. There's 2 Tempests, but they don't put out that much damage. Ryung is trying to break this. It is a lot of batteries for the Protoss, however, but still the Terran bio is doing well for itself. Most of those batteries are now out of juice. Marines are stimming under one of the Tempests. They get one, they get the second. The base is broken. GG gets called as Ryung, with his incredible patience. His form as a pro gamer is showing up so well that he is indeed a former champion.
Yeah. Ties up the series 2-2 as well. Yeah, this is going to be amazing best of 7. I mean...
Is that 2-2 or is that 3-1 for Ryung?
Oh, did I have my numbers? Oh, you're right. I had them backwards. It's 3-1 for Ryung.
I was trying to make sure, because like I know I make mistakes at times too.
Yeah. No, you're good. Ryung is looking strong. John Solo throws out a lol GG. Looks like NightMare wants to pull up Golden Aura for our next map. And we're going to rock on in. That was definitely bananas, Bovine. It usually is. Proxy Tempest in PvT. Pretty nuts. I remember I held a community tournament a couple years ago. And yeah, this GM Toss just did this in like every PvT that he was in. And he was so good at it.
That's a comeback.
He didn't have to play against Ryung, that's for sure.
Probably did it to me on the ladder half a dozen times before queuing to go tournament.
Probably.
All right, in the bottom right, it is Ryung.
And in the top left, it's NightMare. Yeah, Ryung just playing really solid Terran versus Protoss strats, adjusting nicely to the Proxy Tempest shenanigans. Patient as all get out, like you said in the last game before that one. Just patient, not overextending, not getting too excited.
Yeah, it's really incredible how well he's doing. On a random note, I did actually play in an amateur tournament once, and I had to play a best of 5 against a Protoss that I knew was going to go for the Proxy Tempest battery shenanigans. And he did it every single game. I knew it was coming, and I couldn't stop it.
There is nothing worse in all of all of competition than that. Knowing what your opponent is going to do, being able to stop it is like the most demoralizing thing.
Okay, it's Ryung's time to go for a double gas. NightMare is scouting out, however, so that's a good start.
Yeah, the 2 gas to me just says Cyclones. Or, you know, Battle Cruiser Rush, which is not a thing in this matchup.
No.
Barely a thing in TvZ anymore. Although, I don't know, at this level, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it pops out every now and then. Oh, NightMare with the probe recall.
I love the probe recall. Like, we're going to use all of the might of Protoss technology to do this thing we can only do once every in a long while to rescue you, single probe.
Yep, and even though the math works out to be slightly in favor of using that energy on a chrono boost, I believe. But don't quote me on that.
Okay.
That's why it's always so funny to see.
Yep, Cyclone under production back home in Terranville. Got a second base coming in quite nicely, too. Not reactoring the factory. He might after this first Cyclone is created, though. Probe lives matter, says John Solo. They certainly do, John. NightMare believes so anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tech Labs the factory. Interesting.
Now here's the question, Vulcan. With the new Microsoft acquisition, do you think we're going to see Starcraft 3?
I think the chance of a Starcraft 3 went from 0% with the Activision to like 4% with Microsoft.
I'll take it.
I know, me too. Is he supply blocked?
Yes, but his CC finished, so he's not.
Okay, good.
He
Yeah,
knows what he's
Microsoft has an interest in RTS. They just made an Age of Empires.
Oh yeah, they're doing lots of updates for Age of Empires 4.
Yeah.
They added the random expansion to Age of Mythology not too long ago.
Yeah.
Although I guess that was quite a while ago now, but then...
But, yeah.
Age of Empires 2 just got a patch, didn't it, or something?
Ooh, really? That's pretty cool.
And then the CEO has said that he would like to see something done with StarCraft, I believe.
Good. Phil Spencer?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. It was like, Warcraft expansions announced. Something new for Overwatch. He said the word StarCraft.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's barely been a thing for like 5 minutes, so like I think it's a pretty good chance at this point.
I agree. I'd be down for it, that's for sure.
Okay, Ryung going for a push. Just like he was able to finish off nice with this push on this map. He's going to go for it now against NightMare. And we'll see how the build works out. NightMare has kept his Phoenix alive, unlike how I believe Nice lost one.
He did.
So he's already doing a little bit better, but he's still got a big push to hold. In comes Ryung. Looks like Ryung's going to lose a Viking. That's a big loss. Huge loss, actually, when it comes to defending this. There's a lot of Adepts warping on in. Now, the tanks add a lot of beef against these Adepts, and NightMare may just commit on top of this, but if the tanks are there, like, they actually do a lot of work against this.
Oh, the tank gets lifted.
Yeah,
Cyclone putting in some work here.
Dropped. It is not being dropped, though. The Medivac goes down before it's dropped. That is a big disaster for Ryung, because those tanks, they soak so many Adept shots, and they did not get their chance to do that.
Oh, that was brutal. I cannot believe he didn't unload that tank. Okay, well, the counterattack is here. Back to the hard wall against these Adepts. Phoenix trying to lift and kill some of these Marines, maybe take out that Viking as long as we're here. Yeah, Marines lifted and killed pretty brutally right now.
We got to see that bunker get finished up for Ryung if he wants to hang on here. He loses 8 SCVs. in that hold, in that push. He's not out of it yet, but NightMare can very comfortably take his third base and dictate how he wants to play this game.
Yeah, Phoenix Adept, man. What a build. What a year. NightMare throwing up Storm, getting a third Nexus behind this, saying, I've got the Terran contained.
Ooh.
Somewhat.
Ryung is going mech.
What?
I mean, Turtle mech might be decent here. He really needs to catch up in the economy, so...
It's getting the Hurricane Thrusters upgrade, increasing the move speed of Cyclones to 4.73.
4.73 up from 3.94. Whereas these charge lots have 4.72. So Cyclones will be faster than charge lots.
Dang, that's pretty fast.
Well, I'll be.
It's so weird. Like, the upgrade icon looks more like a missile firing than it does like a booster, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever. Not going to complain. The one Starcraft intern is doing a great job.
He is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
He's doing good work with Heroes of the Storm, too.
Do they share an intern?
I think so.
I bet you're right.
The amount I was playing a lot of Heroes during my surgery recovery, just because I didn't have the brain power to play Starcraft. Although I did play a bit.
Yeah.
But like, it's a fun game.
Yeah,
and
for
they
sure.
did get a patch recently, and someone like the amount of hopium on that thread on that subreddit since Microsoft bought it. It's just like, one guy made a post. It was so funny. He's just like, okay, I know the work that goes into releasing an update. It was a tiny update, but he's like, there is no way that just one guy could have done all this.
It's a very talented intern, buddy.
It's
fine.
like, oh man, the intern's doing everything. Okay, Cyclones run right on into all these Zealots. Fortunately, they can run right on out with their speedy zoominess.
Zippy kiting is pretty good. They're dying, mind you, but they're getting some good work done, too. Good lift on the tanks. Storm pushing back here. NightMare is really pushing this back.
My gosh, now, Cyclones aren't as tanky as they used to be, so they're actually quite susceptible to this storm. There's also Blink on these Stalkers, and Ryung is a dead nerd.
Wow! What a counter! NightMare lifting those tanks, throwing down a million storms, charge lots, rushing into those Cyclones, into damage, into danger.
Yeah, don't move out with mech when you're as behind as Ryung was.
Right.
Site Delta will be our map number 6 to see if we get a Game 7 off this. Ryung was really hoping to close it out with that push, but NightMare did a great job shutting it down.
And Ryung forgot to unload that other tank. But yes, it was really good.
Hecate.
Hecate.
Hecate is actually our next map.
Right on. Here we go. Maybe. Click. Oh, wait. What? Join game. There we go. Whew, thanks for everyone who's still sticking with us. This has been one heck of a PvT fest, this last best of 5 and best of 7. Some really fun stuff, to be sure.
I'm sorry, my Zerg friend.
It's all good. I think PvT's in kind of a fun state right now.
Yeah. Ryung making some Cyclones.
Yeah. Cyclones are interesting. All right, Hecate in the house. Ryung still one game from finishing this. But hey, forcing game 7, crazier things have happened.
All right, in the bottom left, he's Ryung.
Top right, it's NightMare. See if Ryung's like, enough of this cyclone garbage. I mean, it worked for him once already today, but this time, perhaps. Marines, Marauders, Widow Mines. The Widow Mine drop with the hidden armory was always pretty solid.
Yeah.
Could go back to that well.
We will see what Ryung is thinking. These two players figure each other out more and more as the series goes on. I think Ryung just going for a scout here. Is it gonna be like an eBay block or something?
Yep.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Yep. Barrack. No. That would be funny if it was barracks. eBay. Phoenix of War added $3 to his donation, bringing the total to 23 and beating Somicron.
Waiting till Somnicron doesn't say anything in chat for a little bit.
Yeah. Somicron's probably asleep. I'm safe. Good call, Phoenix of War. I applaud your strategies. Your military strategies are very good. So what's the response here from NightMare going to be?
Take the third.
He's doing the Zerg thing. Now you know how Zerg feel. Ha. Ha ha ha. eBay canceled. I mean, the difference here is that NightMare doesn't want a third base as fast as Zergs would get a third base. So it's a little awkward.
Yeah. Now, how's Ryung gonna open up to follow this up? He's got a CC on the way. I was gonna say I'd love to see double Cyclone. I don't know if he'll have the gas for it though, so it might just have to be Mines or Hellions.
Boring.
Yeah, boring.
Hellions. Those have been around forever.
Maybe 2 Hellions, then 2 Cyclones. A boy can dream.
Yeah. So Gumio did. Gumio made like 6 Cyclones and like 27 Hellions. It was the weirdest build.
Yeah, that's because he's Gumio.
Because he's Gumio. Ah. More Hellions. NightMare got a proxy gate down there.
Look at the size of this thing.
I know. Male Ursidax are chunky. There's nothing to eat here, dude. Why are you here?
I mean, yeah.
Can you eat robots?
I think he's got a herbivore.
Yeah.
He's got the flat teeth.
Right. So he needs to be somewhere where there's plants, not this hard... There's minerals here and robots. There's nothing to eat. Maybe he can, like, inhale Vespene gas for nutrients.
Maybe.
That'd be nice.
In the Starcraft universe, Protoss can get their energy from the sun, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything is possible.
I mean, why else would Vespene gas be naturally occurring if none of the plant life or animals could benefit from it, you know?
Yeah.
I guess that's not really how geology works.
Usually there is something that can sustain itself on if there's a resource in an environment.
Yeah. There you go. Hellions getting into NightMare's mineral line, and there's a stalker here. 2 stalkers. Shield battery going to help a lot.
I mean, not getting too much done. That main base does have a battery in it.
Yeah, and recalling some stuff in there too.
Forced. Wow. Recall from the 3rd. Cyclones and Marauders still holding the top here, but it's 2 base against Terran trapped on 1 base.
Temporarily, but yeah, that temporary pretty bad. Adepts are going to prevent the land. No, they decide not to finish the shade. Marauder comes down to deal with them anyway, and the proxy's getting shut down.
So many Marauders and Cyclones for the Terran. Does lock onto one of the Adepts.
Yeah, pretty easy peasy. I mean, lock-on has no cooldown anymore either, so...
Oh, it doesn't, eh?
As soon as it's done, you can pop it again. It's weird.
Stalkers. Oh. That's probably good when it comes to them fighting Blink Stalkers, I suppose.
Yeah, it's really good. They nerfed the range quite a bit, but the ability to just lock on immediately, that was pretty good as far as trades go. 30 to 16 army supply in favor of Ryung.
They don't do nearly as much damage, but here they come. That Immortal's really far out there, and there's Concussive Shell, so that will be a victim.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, that natural base is so far away from the main, it's awkward. Dude, 25 to 12 army supply. Marauder, Cyclone. And there's a single Marine in there. He's
They're
a fraud.
so weak, though, some of these units for Ryung. It really could go either way.
Yeah. Stalkers don't want to fight outside of the shield battery, that's for sure. Although it doesn't have a lot of energy. Probably pop an overcharge, though.
Yeah, he wants to pick off those injured Marauders. He wants that injured Cyclone. He's looking for whatever he can get, and he is chasing for it. He will get a good engagement, it seems.
Nice
blink.
blink.
There's not enough Terran here.
Nice blink. He evens up the army count and takes the lead.
That one Marauder gets itself another Stalker, but
oh gosh,
Ryung doesn't have that much back at home now.
No. Third base on the way from NightMare at his natural base location. Not a lot to defend any Stalkers wandering across the map here. I mean, production is helping for sure. More Marauders being added, more Marines. I think NightMare is going to poke in, see what's up, and maybe get out of there. But unless snipes a Cyclone.
Good micro. Yeah, that was a Marauder and a Cyclone that went down there.
Wow. And the super annoying Blink Stalker pressure. And this Orbital is already very injured, so knocking it down to in fire range was too easy there. Got to pull some SCVs off to repair that now.
Good micro with that Medivac, keeping those injured Marauders alive. And with the Medivacs, he should be able to shut down most of the Stalker harassment, since he can stim further after them, since it's not as easy to burst those units down. This is really good time buying for NightMare. He's getting some really good trades as well. Hasn't lost a Stalker while doing all this, which is quite impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. NightMare's adding in some Zealots, obviously. A couple Sentries in the mix. Warp Prism, no splash damage again. And yeah, kind of just casually moving into a more Marine Marauder Widow thing. The Cyclones.
A fast one on his opponent, and if Ryung moves out here, he can be force fielded so strong. So he has just got to hightail it out of there, and he does. Sees those sentries. Got to be careful on that ramp.
Robotic support bay warping him back home from NightMare. Might be able to toss in some Cyclones, Disruptors, all sorts of wonderful stuff. Yeah, 3 base in Protoss, 2 basing Terran. We've seen this story before. Colossus are being produced back home. Warp Prism just gets recalled out of there. No real chance of getting any work done there in the main. Obs picked out of the sky. Extended Thermal Lance on the way from NightMare. And a Ghost Academy getting started from Ryung.
NightMare will commit to a 4th base, it seems. He's got to be careful, though, because Ryung is looking for a scrap soon, I think. So delaying that a bit may be the correct call. It's not an easy one to make, however, but yeah, Ryung really is moving on out, and Observer's got good vision on top of Ryung's army. So Zealots are looking for a counterattack, going to get SCVs that are transferring towards the 3rd base, and it is a lot of Zealots here.
Ah, the Zealot shining so much today. Yeah, EMPs are going to have to soften those things up. No real sign of... Well, there are some Widow Mines. I lied. Widow Mines are in the mix. So, Ryung's got the tools he needs here on Hecate.
Yeah, I think a drop really has got to be the play for Ryung. There's Stalkers, but there's not too many out. 'Cause I don't know if he can fight this army head on.
Kite.
Yeah, he's busy dealing with harassment at his third base location. His economy really did take a beating from that early game. No ghosts on the way either for the Terran. He does have an upgrade lead, and he will extend that to a 1-1 lead soon, as NightMare completely forgoes any upgrades for the minute. He's got a 4th on the way, though, Disruptors on the way, and DTs on the way. Those are things that don't really care about upgrades. And he does start his +1 anyway for good measure. In comes the Protoss, got a really good angle. SCVs have to be pulled. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Vikings dealing damage to the Colossus, but taking so long just to kill one of them. It was a good buffer for the Terran, but it's not going to be enough, and we are going to Game 7.
Woo! There we go. NightMare gets the GG. Fantastic. Buying that time with those Stalkers, getting up to that splash damage, chosen Colossus. Fantastic display of playing PvT there. These two players, man, evenly matched. We're getting a Game 7.
That's for sure.
Yeah, anytime you're getting a Game 7, there's usually players that are pretty even. That was awesome. That was really, really impressive stuff.
Solaris will be our last map of the day.
Solaris. Good old reliable Solaris.
Good old pronounceable Solaris.
Good old not named to trip up casters Solaris. Now watch it come out that it has an entirely different pronunciation they didn't tell us about.
Yeah, it's actually pronounced
horse.
guacamole.
Guacamole. Yes. Of course. I see it. I see guacamole in here.
Alright, that is ready from the two players going into game number 7 in what has been a great best of 7. I'm glad everyone was able to tune in today. I know that these aren't necessarily the biggest name players, but the matches have been phenomenal. And yeah, that's why it's always important. Like, sometimes just like a random set of players from the pro scene can deliver some amazing games, and these guys are doing just so.
They are giving us our money's worth, that's for sure. All right, top right of Solaris. Fought his way back from a 3-1 to a 3-3. It is NightMare.
Yeah, not an easy thing to do. And he's got to be sweating a little bit. It's Ryung.
Oof. What's crazy for a Game 7?
I'd say Tempest, but we've already seen that.
Ah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. Ryung has dropped the past few maps. He's got to bring him back somehow. He already tried to close it out with a tank push. That didn't work. I think just play reactive if you're Ryung and hope NightMare, almost hope NightMare's cheesing or something, and then you can just defend it.
That'd be nice. That is often, a lot of the time, how Game 7's.
Because, like, you gotta think, like, NightMare has won the games that have gone longer, and that he has kind of thrown away, per se.
Mass Blink DT. Ooh, Mothership Rush, Phoenix says. That would be fun.
That would be whack.
Not as good, though, just because Cloak is a timed thing now instead of perma.
Not as good.
I mean, not that it was good.
Technically correct, yes.
He's doing shield battery in the mineral line.
Yeah, he did go for a Cybercore before Nexus. Battery in the mineral line kind of implies that he wants to move out. Reaper's spoiled for choice as far as which probe it kills, but it does kill one before that battery's done.
Found a nice window.
Yeah, Adept crossing the map, Stalker crossing the map next. Injured SCV getting on out of there.
Yeah, Twilight, Factory, fine. Nothing crazy is happening so far, but the builds do lend themselves to different opportunities, which is the fun thing about Starcraft. So you're not trapped into a particular tech path just because you built the factory, you know?
Yeah. The safety cyclone is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, though, the fact that you don't even need to build a reactor for it anymore is just phenomenal for Terran. I know they're not quite as good as they used to be, or as good as they were back when they were the machine gun cyclones.
Right.
That was when they could last be produced without a reactor or a tech lab.
Was it the Warhound they thought about adding, and then they couldn't figure out how to make it in
The Goliath, maybe?
No.
Yeah. I don't know. The Warhound was like beta Wings of Liberty.
But I think they tried bringing it back. Like, they explored it in a Legacy of the Void patch, but it was just like
the
crushing everything.
There
the
was
Herc.
The Herc prior to the Liberator.
That what it was.
And it had that hook thing.
Oh, yeah. That was really good.
That was interesting. Beefy Terran mobile unit.
Yeah,
I mean,
what?
They made the Cyclone that anyway at some point, but not initially.
Right.
And they gave us the Liberator.
It's pretty good. Not required to be made. Not easily countered either. Kind of in a good spot.
I like how in Legacy of the Void beta too, that Blizzard tried to just give Protoss I think it was just the Cyclone. Or no, just the Disruptor, pardon me. And then Zerg was getting the 2 extra units, and Terran was getting the 2 extra units, and everyone's like, hey, this is not fair. We deserve 2 extra. We deserve 2.
Yeah, we should get 2. That's only reasonable.
And then they came out with the Adept, which has been a pretty good addition.
Honestly, really good addition. A little bit of some Blink Stalker pressure here. Siege Tank says, oh really, though?
And this is the aggression coming out of NightMare. He's on 2 bases. He's got Blink Stalkers. He's putting the heat on Ryung. There's a good amount of Stalkers and attempts at a bunker. That tank is just placed so perfectly far back.
Yeah, blinking onto that would be suicide.
And I think this is what Ryung wants. He wants NightMare to commit resources to attacking him. NightMare did that a little bit here, but he's not going to do it for too long.
No, he's firing up at third base now. Getting charged. Trying to get what he can do here, but not much. Robotic support bay on the way.
Yeah, I still think that this is a decent opening here for Ryung. Just because NightMare has committed some to this. Like, he went up to 4 gateways. He went for the blink. He delayed his third a little bit. So it's better than openings, which NightMare has had stronger map. Good Prism Micro from NightMare, getting some damage done.
Yeah, just like this continued pressure. Almost wants that Cyclone so bad.
He really does. Will Ryung repair it? That's the question.
Doesn't appear to be all that interested
Oh,
in it,
he
so it
blinks
dies.
and he gets it. Oh, that is so slick. Ryung should have repaired it. He should have known.
Should have known.
Don't dangle a treat in front of that Protoss.
No, snap it right up.
Okay, so that is a quick third for the Terran, although it was delayed by NightMare. Well, I say quick, but slightly quicker than past games, I think. Ryung now moving out. He's got that stim bio, so it is his time to shine.
Alright, Ryung on the move out. Throwing down a third base behind him as he goes. Warp Prism. Killing a Marine, picking up, getting out of there. Very sneaky.
That's a great intercept because Ryung doesn't have to worry about that on his side of the map for a little bit longer now. He does pull back though, so respecting this Protoss force, which makes sense as the supply is equal, which generally favors the Protoss.
Going up that ramp would have been a bad time too.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think we need to see a drop or something from Ryung.
Yeah, I don't know that just straight up engagements are going to be in his favor today.
He's got these Marines down here. Just Marines, though. Like, I feel like a 2 medivac drop or something would be really good for him. Of course, he's worried about the push, though, and rightfully so, it would seem. But I don't know if NightMare is actually going to commit into this or not.
Oh. Ah, decent connection there on the Disruptor.
Okay, Marines hit this pylon, but it's just Marines, so they don't really have the juice to cancel his Nexus, I don't believe.
No.
Disruptors kill a tank, putting pressure on the Terran still. Reinforcements come on in for the Protoss to shut that drop down. However, it does not actually get shut down. All the while the Prism is harassing in the main base. These guys doing a lot all at once.
Yeah, that's Starcraft at its best as well, when multiple engagements are happening in multiple places. Colossus being added into the mix. Disruptor's getting some pretty good value here, honestly. Siege tank, couple Marines and Marauders. Yeah, 3 mines is huge, too. War Prism gets out of there. NightMare, happy to sit on 4 bases. Get that worker count up. Make another Dark Shrine. Add some more Colossus in. They were pretty good for him in the last game.
Yep. Now, Ryung does have a 4th base on the way, so this game will go longer. Just boosting out of it.
All right. NightMare catches a Widow Mine hit. Recognizes he's been scouted. Misses the Widow Mine. Not quite sure where that was. Still doesn't know where it was. That's fun. Oh, and then catches another Widow Mine shot. Where are your obs? Shadow Stride getting fired up here too. I don't think we really saw it. Ryung goes marching into the 3rd base of NightMare and just starts crushing. And NightMare has to come home to deal with it. So, oh, they get the Nexus and escape. No, one of the medevacs gets picked off. Some guys get left behind. 3rd base gets replanted immediately.
Ryung to the bottom side of the map.
Yep, he wants to get into that 4th base. Thinks better of it. Pulls back. Too many Zealots at the top of the ramp. Too many shield batteries.
Okay, that big Protoss army hanging around. It's got a trek to get towards this 3rd base.
Yeah, Solaris is not a small map, that's for sure. But, you know, Zealots are fast now. Back into this third base. There is a small bit of an army defending it. Army here at the third base of Ryung kind of getting pushed back. Two Colossus causing all sorts of problems. Two SCVs go down. Disruptors, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, Disruptor's really getting nabbed up while this attack hits that fourth base that was just about rebuilt. Karen's bullied off his third.
Sensor Tower. Missile Turret easily wiped out here too. SCVs as part of Ryung's comp right now, I guess. He says, come up this ramp, I dare you. I've got SCVs tanking for me. Yeah, NightMare's third is back. His fourth is running. Ryung's third base is returned. We're back to a 4-4 base economy, 69 to 68 workers. Once again, you got to account for mules. Yeah, getting scanned immediately. They've got the Shadow Stride, so their ability... My gosh, where are the odds? Ooh, almost killed his own DT there. Missing on the Widow Mine.
Oh my god.
No, but really, why don't you have Observer?
Because he's busy making disruptors, and that's
He's
why.
got one Observer on the map.
There we go, it's coming.
Come on, buddy. There we go. Friendly neighborhood disruptor. +3 attack getting fired up here from NightMare. +3 infantry attack on the way from Ryung too. And +3 armor. So we're getting into a full upgrades here around 13 minutes, which is about where you want to be. 12 minutes is probably better, but considering how aggressive this game has been. Fifth base coming down the right side for NightMare. And he's maxed out along with Ryung. So we're going to start building up some banks, maybe trading out some less effective supply for better supply. All the stuff you see in a late game PvT. NightMare swinging around. He does commit up into this left side for a second and then pulls back again. Yeah. Nobody wants to overextend and lose game 7 because they were a little bit over eager. And that said, kind of fighting in two places at once here is not going well for NightMare.
No.
NightMare just got crushed down from 200 to 120 supply. 109. Ryung comes in from multiple angles. Ooh, Disruptors trying to equalize. That is the comeback unit for sure. But still, big advantage here in army supply. 100 to 54 in favor of Ryung.
Yeah,
and he's on the rampage.
If anything can help overcome that, though, it's Disruptors and DTs. He's taking a scrap just with Zealots and Stalkers. That's not going to do it. DTs are fanning out all over the map all of a sudden with their blink. He's eyeing up that third base. There's a turret and a Widow Mine, though. Ryung's in a pretty good defensive spot. The fourth base really taking the heat. Disruptor trying to zone this out.
Yeah, Shield Battery Overcharge not in range to heal any of these Zealots. Not really providing any value here. And then this that just runs out before doing anything for the Protoss. I think that's it. I think Ryung, unless some incredible Disruptor shots come right about now. Ryung also sharking around at that 3 o'clock position, trying to get up, deal with this base. There's a single cannon defending it. The third base goes down. The fourth base is probably going to go down. He does warp in some DTs to try to help deal with that army responding as well, but yeah, I don't know. That Nexus has got some mining at it, but there's an army here too.
Disruptors looking for big connections. DTs trying to do what they can, but yeah, that Widow Mine and turret. Big success there.
Yeah, 120 to 50 supply right now in favor of Ryung army supply.
Yeah, NightMare's economy is still decent at this point, though, so he can keep a steady stream of DTs and Disruptors coming out for him, but as he loses his base, that's going to be a big blow to that economy.
Oh, gosh. Tons of probes dying here, too. Army trying to deal with it, really relying on Disruptor shots, because what else do you have right now? And NightMare kiting back, trying to use the high ground, trying to use the shield battery pop to his advantage, but Ryung attacking into this. Yeah, that's your GG, and Ryung takes game 7.
Wow, what a slog.
What a fantastic back and forth from both of these players. They both played so well, but yeah, just came down to that one engagement on the left side. Both players are maxed out. Better control on the side of Ryung. Colossus die accomplishing almost nothing. Stalker's not blinking. I mean, charting into like 3 places at once is so hard to do.
That was
NightMare loses a ton of army supply and just can't really recover.
That was a nuts game. It was awesome. Like on such a big map, Ryung able to come out on top with all that great positioning he had.
Yeah, I mean, it went to game 7, so I mean, we're not looking at any kind of a disappointment here from NightMare. I think he should be happy with the result, getting to a game 7 here, finishing second place in Africa World 107, really playing pretty well.
Yeah, we're gonna have to invite him back to another one because that is his second place, 3-4 loss, unfortunately for him.
Oh man!
But
game 7 both times.
It's why we keep having him back. The games he shows are always awesome, and we'll continue to have him back in the future. And next Africa World should be in roughly 2 weeks.
Yep, that's going to be the plan. Follow us both on Twitter, right? Handles below our faces here. Check us out there. We will tweet a few days in advance, and then you can be here and cheer on these players.
Check us out on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. Join the Discord. Join our Discords. That sort of thing. Appreciate everyone who tunes into these events. And yeah, we'll try and get a really killer lineup for the next one. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being here. Bye.